just a bit of talking over while I'm cooking this curry. I didn't actually make these recipes, okay? One of the stuff I get is from a website, YouTube called Al's Kitchen. It does 30-minute curries. And let me just tell you this. I'll show you in the thing above about this gravy. British Indian restaurants, believe it or not, use a thing called base gravy, which effectively is getting a load of onions and some coriander, some peppers and some tomatoes and spices, and just boiling the hell out of it for about 2 hours and liquidizing it down to a paste. And you make bulk and bulk of it. You make so much, you freeze it. But it's a pain to make, and especially, if you're going to be just like a one-man little operation, like in a condo in Thailand. So I'll come up with a way to make the 30-minute curries, which is basically doing a small version of the base gravy, and he just uses onions. I used onions and some coriander roots and some chili because I thought I didn't have any chili paste or chili powder. I didn't, but I do. Anyway, it just makes for a bit of a richer sort of sauce. So this is basically the base gravy, as it were, for the curry, and this is sort of the basis of all sort of British Indian restaurants curries. This is probably almost cooked. I used olive oil, like he does as well in his things. I don't use seed oils. Seed oils are actually very, very bad for you. They're just nasty things. Olive oil is pretty good. Olive oil will stand a fair bit of temperature. That's about what you may hear. And even if it doesn't, even though it's slightly oxidized, it's still a lot better than seed oils, which are just basically chemically extracted crap. So that is basically, I think, about right now. It's about 10 minutes. I'll just put it back up again. It spits a bit. Now what I'll do now is I'm going to add in my garlic and ginger paste. And all the measurements I'll give you in my little, what's it called, like thumbnail, not thumbnail, in the description. I've had to dumb these down or measure them down to be for a 1 or 2 person rather than a 4 person. So I'll put about that much garlic and ginger paste in. That'll need to fry off for a couple of minutes as well. So he'll go back up again for a while and get that fried off. And, you may think this is really painful, and yeah, look, it can be, and it takes preparation. But really, when you're living here by yourself or with somebody else, whatever, you have got some time in your hands, hopefully, and this is something. It's something that just keeps you doing something a bit different rather than going in the piss all the time or whatever you're doing. It's something constructive, and it's something when you can cook yourself a really nice meal. Say you really hanker for something from back home, and you end up being able to make it yourself rather than have to go somewhere and find it, and you can do it on demand and just like it, and people like it. It's just so satisfying, really. Let's turn this up a little bit. So, I mean, I've always liked cooking anyway, so if you don't like cooking, then why are you watching this channel? But I think you'll enjoy this, because this is what I'll do now, I'll just bung in as well a couple of things: a piece of cinnamon bark, cinnamon stick, and a star anise. These things just add a little bit of flavor, just that little nuance that you're really not too sure what it is sometimes. And I've kept behind the kasuri methi. Kasuri methi is one of those secret ingredients I didn't know about for so many years. It's in a lot of BIR curries, which just really makes a big difference. It's a special thing. If you haven't tried methi, haven't smelled methi, buy some. Where have I got some here somewhere? Fenugreek is called. Fenugreek methi. And honestly, it's the smell of it. It's something different. Yeah, it's just lovely. So I'll just let it go for a couple of minutes. I'll get back to you when I put the rest of the stuff in. Right, I'm not going to turn this off because that garlic and ginger and the onions are all well fried up. I'm going to add in the powdered spices apart from the methi and let these get all mixed in together. I don't want them to burn, so that's why I turned the heat off. So once they're incorporated, I can turn the heat back on a little bit. Which I will do. I'll add the tomato puree. I've actually got a lot more here than I need because I'm used to cooking this for 4 people rather than 2 people. So I'm only going to add half the amount of puree I thought I'd actually add. That much is probably well enough. Is it? A little bit more. There we go, that'll do. And you meant also to add some of the onion water, which is basically, again, I'll show you in the thingy above. It's the water you drain off when you boil the onions. You drain off the water they're boiled in. I'm only going to add a little bit of this. It's all flavour, only a little bit because this is very, very saucy already. And I don't want to have too much sauce for too little chicken. So I might just let that sort of boil down for maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes. This is the stage here now. If you had raw chicken, you'd put it in and then you give it maybe 10-15 minutes. But I've already got pre-cooked chicken tikka, so not need that much long. So I'm just going to actually just let this boil down a little bit, make it a bit thicker. Then I'll put in the chicken tikka. I'll put in the onion and peppers. Then I'll put in some coriander at the end. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Right, I've added the chicken tikka and the charred peppers and onions. Let this, sorry, I got a cold. Gonna let this just heat up for a little bit, reduce down a little bit. I have to say, look, this is called a Jalfrezi, but actually, you know, I used to live in a place just outside Bolton, which is outside Manchester in England. Manchester is famous for the curry mile, among other things. And the Jalfrezis you got back there, back home, I'd call it, I suppose, bear no resemblance to any Jalfrezi I've ever had made anywhere else in the world, even with these BR recipes. So this isn't really a Jalfrezi I know. It's a Jalfrezi as I suppose it's meant to be from generic BIR type Jalfrezis. I mean, the one I know is Aldwell also has, you know, whole or sliced up green chilies in it, but it's just a different taste. Anyway, this is the Jalfrezi, which is sort of accepted in most of, I suppose, the Western world. So that's close to being right. The chicken isn't quite heated through yet, but I'm going to just chuck in the coriander now because it'll be fine. And I may put a squeezed lemon in at the end. We'll see. But I'll serve this up in a few minutes. Right, there you go. Chicken tikka Jalfrezi served with some naan bread I made yesterday. Again, I'll put a little thingy in the thingy, whatever it's called, to tell you how to make naan bread if you want to, but that's made from fresh ingredients you can get in the supermarket. Lovely naan bread. Thank you for watching. I'll let you know how it tastes in a bit. Well, yes, that's nice. Goes very well with the naan. Probably should get some rice sometime and start, you know, going back on the carbs again. Well, maybe naan's carbs, isn't it? But yes, mine's quite spicy, tasty. Again, not a Jalfrezi I recognise from Bolton or Manchester, but yeah, nice. And I think well worth making. Thanks for watching. Bye.